Chat, do you know that I'm friends with the most popular president in American history? Yeah, me and Joe Biden are very close. Very close. He usually comes to me and he asks me, V, how do I troll them? How do I cause answer? And the last thing I told him was that before you leave, before you turn off the lights at the White House, I want you to think about all of your supporters. All of those smug, know it all liberals, all of those principled people. And I want you to make them look like utter shit. I want you to make them look as they have egg on their face. And Joe Biden was like, how do I do this, V? How do I troll? I was like, you need to pardon your son. And Joe was like, and I was like, and look at the fallout. This is a post that's got like 26.4 million views. Not the only one. Like, there are so many people. It's kind of difficult, for the last couple of months to go. It's like, oh, no one is above the law. Above it. Oh, above the law. And to lecture people about democracy and to pearl clutch. It's like, oh, if Donald Trump gets into office, he's going to use presidential pardoning. He's going to pardon. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, we would never. No, you would. And not only you would, but it's now revealed that when it happens, you love it. You love the power, huh? You love when your guy does the thing. And that's good. That's good. That's euphoria. But now it's our turn to have a little bit of euphoria. We want a little bit of equality. You had your fun. Now it's time for us to have fun as well. And it's like the pardoning, right? The reason that the presidential pardon is about corruption, because like the mental loopholes that I'm seeing, it's like the mental gymnastic Olympics on Twitter. It's like, well, no, because it's legal, so it can't be corruption. And my Eastern European brain is trying to understand, like, maybe the Americans are running on a different definition than corruption. Holy shit. Or, no, listen. President Trump did it in the past, so it's fine if we do it now. And, no one is saying it's not fine. That's not the point, but it's kind of difficult to go. It's like, no one is above the law, above the law. He's going to pardon himself, above the law. You can't go like that, hysterical, for 5 months and then be like, well, our guys were doing it too. Well, if your guys were doing it too, or if Trump was doing it too, then you should be okay with it as principle, right? Like, you are never talking about, oh, we need to dismantle the presidential pardon. Now here's the interesting thing about the Joe Biden pardon. Number one, the pardon says that the DOJ was weaponized against his son for political reasons. So now you got two choices. Chat. There's only two choices. There's not three. The first choice is that the man knows, right? Like, he's within the United States political system, was in the White House, and he knows that the DOJ is weaponized against political targets. And that is corruption. That is like literally the definition of corruption. So in the presidential pardon itself, Joe Biden is saying, yeah, the US is corrupt. The justice system is corrupt. That's a hard pill to swallow for the no one is above the law mentality, right? But surely maybe that's not the case, right? Surely maybe the DOJ is pure. Like, you can't accuse the DOJ of corruption, right? Maybe the president is wrong. In which case, the act itself is corrupt. Like, he knows that his son is guilty, so he is signing a presidential pardon that is purely out of self-interest. And that is the definition of corruption. Because, like, what is corruption? Well, institutions have a purpose. And when you behave in a way that's against the purpose of the institution, that is corruption. Right? Like, the Presidential Act was not designed to pardon the family members of the president for crimes that the president themselves think they committed. And so there may be like a difference between what Trump pardoned in the past and what Joe Biden is doing now. Like in the past, even Donald Trump can make legal arguments or moral arguments on why the guy that he pardoned deserved to be pardoned. Like for instance, the January 6ers, right? Like he campaigned on this. People voting for Trump were aware that the January 6ers are going to get pardoned. He promised the Lolbertarians that he's going to pardon the Road and Silk guy. Right? Like, people vote knowing that the pardoning is going to happen. So, like, usually, you can make the political argument that the pardoning is not because they're your close relative or your friend or they paid you or anything like that. And you can say, well, like, the role of the pardoning is that I can use my conscience as the president and say that this guy didn't deserve it, or that maybe the law was too harsh, because that's what the presidential pardoning is for. Like, someone did something, and then the current administration goes like, well, maybe it was too harsh, maybe he served enough time, maybe, right? But in the case of Joe Biden, if you pardon your son, especially when there's accusations of sexual misconduct, and the pardoning says, well, for crimes that were committed or may have been uncovered for 10 years. There is absolutely no way to spin this. It looks bad, okay? Like, it's the worst optics imaginable. I don't think, and I may be wrong, because America does have a long history. But I don't think, well, actually, maybe, since Abraham Lincoln, this may have been the case, when he pardoned the people that were on behalf of the Confederates, right? Like, maybe that. And you have, like, a blanket pardon for a period of 10 years. I'm not really that great with American history. I mean, for a European, I'm probably more than other Europeans. But even Abraham Lincoln didn't pardon anyone for 10 years. For, again, like, not just for one crime, but for, like, crimes that may have yet to be uncovered. So, like, if someone finds out that Hunter Biden accidentally ran over someone with a car and did a hit and run, that is pardon. Like, that is insane. Like, that level of blanket excuse. I don't know if anyone on the planet, maybe like dictators have something like that. No, maybe Kim Jong-un, like, he can get away with shit like that. But, like, no one in America does. Like, no one in America can be like, yeah, for the last 10 years. Like, what is to stop any president now from doing this to himself and his entire family in the second term? Like, he literally can do it, right? Like, I, as the president, for myself, my family members, and my future descendants, I will give a blanket pardon. Like, you can do that shit, right? And you could always do it. Like, that's the thing. It was always on the table. But no one tried to do it up till now. And now there's the question, can Trump undo it? No one knows. No one knows. I know he shouldn't. And I'll give you the reason for it. But, like, first of all, no one actually knows. So it will be up to the Supreme Court. Like there is no legal precedent for this type of pardon. Because usually a pardon happens for a specific crime, a specific time, right? But if you're going to give, like, a blanket statement, a blanket pardon for, like, 10 years. Jesus. Okay, let's say that Trump actually manages to undo this. It goes to the Supreme Court. There's not that much political will. Like, people aren't really that upset. They're more upset with the arrogance, the hubris. In fact, like, most Republicans actually, you know what? Most Republicans like this pardon. Most Republicans love it because it uncovers the hypocrisy and the people that they were dealing with. And the reason it's important to uncover the hypocrisy is that now everything that Trump does is justified. It's like, you people should shut the fuck up. You have no principles, so you can't judge others. You have no moral high ground. I don't care what you say. La 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 la. That's literally how the Republicans should act for the next 4 years. And they would have the moral high ground to do so. Now, regarding the pardon itself, as I said, everyone likes it. But if it actually had Trump managed to get the Supreme Court to take it down, well, you create a very nasty situation for anyone else that benefits from the presidential pardon. Like, for instance, the January 6th guys, right? So, like, imagine that you have like someone that maybe didn't even face trial yet. Like they were locked up, they didn't face trial. Or maybe they took a plea deal that they shouldn't have, because like they were pressured, they were placed in a position where they weren't getting to a trial unless they're getting a plea deal. They were whatever, so they take the plea deal. Let's say it's even a person that didn't do anything. Like they just went into the Capitol Hill. They weren't trying to do anything, but due to the circumstances, due to the nature, right, they got locked up. So they're getting pardoned, right? And they go back to their homes. They start reintegrating into their communities. They start getting a job, and it's hard to get a job as an ex-convict, but whatever, like maybe after 3 years they do it. And then you get another Democrat president. Then you get someone else. And that the first thing they do is like, yeah, January 6th was a political pardon. I'm going to resign it. Everyone that gets pardoned will have to face the remaining time. Because the thing is, like, it's not a double jeopardy, right? Like, a pardon is not like you're going in front of a court and the court finds you not guilty. No. The pardon means you did the thing, but the president, due to extraordinary circumstances, decides that you're not going to be punished, right? So, like, it wouldn't be a double jeopardy. It would be like, no, they have to resume serving their sentence. So you're basically, like, taking someone that went to prison, was allowed to get out, reintegrated in the community, you're putting them back to prison. So, like, the idea of revoking a pardon, I think it shouldn't be done. Because, like, unlike the left, I actually do think about precedent. I actually do think about situations where, you can have a... And one more thing about the Trump's pardons, like, a lot of people say, well, he pardoned his friends and shit. I can find many MAGA supporters that would actually say, yeah, like, that pardon is justified. Doesn't matter if you agree with them or not. But, like, they wouldn't be against it. They would be like, yeah, I mean, it's political machinations, the system is wrong, blah, 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 blah. They would support it, right? I don't think there are many Democrats that actually support Joe Biden pardoning his son because, like, it serves no purpose. There's no, like, the will of the people didn't want Hunter Biden pardoned. I don't know, like, if you can even get 100 Democrats that would actually support this decision and be like, you know what, like, yeah, this is what I wanted from my representative. Because at the end of the day, it's a representative, right? So, like, Trump pardoning another business person or a politician, they can say, well, this is a key asset in the right wing, blah, blah, blah. And I think that he was unjustly persecuted and blah, 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 blah. You can make the argument. For Joe Biden, no one can make the argument. Like, the reason Hunter was pardoned is because he's his son. Like, that's how it looks. And that's how it's going to stay in history. Let me know what you guys think, though. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.